So financial education does not get enough airtime in our society, in my opinion. It has been one of those things that I have studied for a long time. I enjoy the study of money and how things work. There's some challenges with it in our world today, but nonetheless, it's important to understand the basics. And I have recently restarted reading or rereading Rich Dad Poor Dad, book by Robert Kiyosaki. Really interesting and something that is absolutely necessary. I'm making my kids read it. And I want to talk a little bit about it after the intro. Welcome to my journey of self-discovery, life balance, career success, and business creation. This podcast works to answer the question of how successful professionals like us stop drifting and get focused on keeping our careers and businesses growing rapidly while having a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love. What we call the Third Power Life. And this is the Third Power Life Podcast. So, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, fantastic book, absolutely necessary. Now, I will put on a caveat here that a lot of Robert Kiyosaki's stuff, especially later on, in my opinion, gets a little out there, right? It gets a little questionable sometimes. But the basic concept behind Rich Dad, Poor Dad, what the rich teach their children that the poor don't. He's got some really great ideas in there, especially around the idea of assets and how you build wealth. My favorite concept from that is the fact that wealth is not measured in dollars. Wealth is measured in time. And, the definition that I use that came from this is if your income were to cease today, if you could no longer work at your job, how long could you survive? Right? So how much time do you have how much money do you have in savings, in liquid investments, things that you could think. So whatever your expenses are today, if it's $1,000 a month are your expenses, which is okay, that's pretty ridiculous. But let's assume your expenses are $1,000 a month and you have $6,000 in the bank. Your wealth is 6 months. If you, on the other hand, have been building assets, and in his definition, an asset is not just something that shows up on your balance sheet for your taxes. It's things that put money in your pocket. So the most controversial thing that from that book is that the house that we own, our own home, is not an asset. It's a liability. Because if our income stops, our house will eat us. We have utilities, we have mortgage, we have interest, all of the taxes, all of that. That's taking money out of our pocket. Therefore, it's not an asset in this context. Things that put money into your pocket, those are assets. And he actually has a board game, which I really like. It's called Cash Flow. I actually got that from a friend of mine. I'd wanted it for ages, and he was moving and it's like, here. I'm like, thank you. But it's a game sort of like Monopoly, but it teaches the financial education things that he puts in here. I actually want to start a group doing that, playing like once a week, play Cash Flow. But in there, you've got the rat race, which is where we all are. We go to work, we pay our bills, we go to work, we pay our bills. We're caught in a rut. And the way that you escape the rat race is where your residual income, the income that you don't have to work for, exceeds your expenses. So in the scenario that I was talking about, if your expenses are $1,000 a month and you have a rental property or you have investments or, money in savings, what have you, that where you're getting interest payments on it, and that that residual income is more than $1,000, then your wealth is infinite, because you can stop working and you have enough money to cover your expenses. And that would be a pretty cool place to be. I'm not there, not right now. And most everyone that I know is not there, but it's something to go for, where yes, we need to have our savings, we need to have our security net, but are we buying things that are taking money away from us, or are we buying things that are putting money into our accounts? Are we buying a new boat and a new car, or are we buying a real estate, or are we buying some cryptocurrency or some, investment account? Are you putting money in an IRA? There are an infinite number of things that you can do. Depends on what you like and your style and how much money you have, all of that. But put money into things that will generate income for you. It can be savings bonds. I mean, not a great one, but anything is better than nothing. It's better than, buying extra stuff that's just going to sit on a shelf and not do anything. So I just wanted to kind of, I'm probably going to be doing some more things along the financial education thing. It's the foundation of my, material prosperity triad is financial education. And the first is the definition of wealth. It's how long you can survive when your primary income stream stops. And I love that concept. And that's where I want to be, is where my passive income is more than my expenses and my wealth is unlimited. All right. So financial education, one of the ways that you can live your life to the third power. Until tomorrow, my friends. I'm glad you enjoyed this podcast. Please let us know what impacted you in today's episode. You can join our Discord or Facebook community to connect with like-minded people that want a real third power life. You can go to thirdpowerlife.com or look in the show notes for links. And remember, hit that like, subscribe, and rate button for the Third Power Life podcast. Until next time.